1644.
Back on the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You're listening to Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Shalom Klein, and we're back with our friend Andrea Storz, who is a career consultant and a returning guest on Get Down to Business. Andrea, welcome back to the program.
Hi, Shalom. How are you?
Fantastic. So, Andrea, I've got a pretty simple question for you this evening.
Yep.
Is it possible to hold on to your sanity while on the job search?
It's a loaded question. It really depends. It depends if you know what you're doing. It depends if you're prepared. It depends if you've taken the appropriate steps for a job search so that you don't end up all over the place and going around the world 5 times without leaving your bed.
Well, I heard this morning from somebody who's been in the job search now for just a few short months, and trust me, there are people that are out there, that have been searching for months, if not years. And the person who I met with this morning over coffee at Starbucks, of course, told me that as they showed their resume to 5 different people, they were told 5 different bits of advice. And each of the advice that they were given all contradicted each other. Your advice to my friend?
It doesn't surprise me. Job coaches, as a rule, feel a responsibility to give some sort of critique or suggestion. The bottom line is the person looking for the job, and I strongly believe that this is really the answer to conducting a productive job search, is to know who you are professionally, what direction you want to go into, and to really familiarize yourself with your own skill set. I think that people are trying so hard to fit a specific mold that very often they take their own skill set and they stretch it to such an extent that it truly it's like an old sweatshirt. It's very comfortable, but it's loose, has lost its fit. It's the same premise.
Andrea, are you a fan of job seekers creating a target list of companies?
Yes and no. These are questions that it really depends on the individual. I think targeted companies is definitely a very strong way to start. And as you see the responses of these companies to your resume, you may have to expand. You may have to go slightly to the left, slightly to the right, up, down. You can't be inflexible when you're looking for a job in today's market.
That's for sure. So, Andrea, as a career consultant and as the owner of ADMS Inc., speaking to many job seekers, what are you hearing? Are things getting any better out there in today's job market?
For those people who have found a job, it's getting better. For those people who haven't, it is not. Personally, as you know, I also work for a social service agency here in Chicago, and I see literally hundreds of people who are certainly talented, certainly educated, and unfortunately unemployed and or underemployed, which, by the way, can be as serious, if not more dangerous than being unemployed.
Well, I guess the need still exists. So to answer that question about holding on to your sanity while searching for a job, Andrea, you are going to be speaking this week, I believe, at a job clinic answering that exact question. And the event's taking place this Thursday at 7 p.m. Andrea, can you give us a tidbit of maybe just one little bit of advice they plan on sharing to the audience that perhaps might include some of our listeners?
Let's see. Let me pick one of my gems. I think that most people have to understand that perception is the name of the game. And it is the perception of the reader of your resume and not the intention of the writer of your resume that's going to get you the interview.
Wow. Well, that's, as promised, just one of the tips. We don't want to give it all away, but Andrea is speaking this Thursday, 7 p.m. in Skokie. And the exact address can be provided upon your registration, which is totally and completely free. So get on my website, shalomklein.com. I'll be posting the registration link. Andrea is a wealth of information on the job search, and whether you know somebody or you yourself are in the job search, you don't want to miss it. Andrea Storz of ADMS is there to provide information about resumes, cover letters, and interviewing that will ultimately lead to hopefully a job offer for you and anybody else that you know. So get on my website, shalomklein.com. But in the meantime, if you can't make it to that event, Andrea, how can people get a hold of you to learn more?
They can call me at 847-917-4141. They can also email me at adms6135@aol.com. And I'm very much looking forward to meeting everyone that will attend these various clinics.
It's a free clinic, and there's a lot more on the calendar. Andrea is a well-regarded speaker on the subject of jobs, careers, resumes, and interviewing. So get a hold of her. She's only a phone call away, 847-917-4141, 847-917-4141. Andrea, thanks for joining us.
My
As
pleasure.
always, on the program, after the break, we are going to be checking in with some more tips, advice, and information. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You get on my website, shalomklein.com. Also, check out tandemhr.com, where you can find out about your solution center. That's what I call them, because they have so much advice in the HR process as well. Tandemhr.com, and Get Down to Business is also brought to you in part by Everett Wealth Solutions, a registered investment advisor and financial planning firm. Check them out at everettwealthsolutions.com. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Get Down to Business.